Hey everybody, it's Stacy with Pageantry Now. We are doing a Sunday Facebook interview. Thanks for being here. We haven't done these in a little while just because I had to obviously break down my studio. We are not in the studio, we're in my living room because I'm doing gymnastics classes live using the same technology we use for Pageantry Now. So we haven't really been able to do interviews. So Fatima's been doing them on Instagram, and I'm super awesomely happy that she's able to do that. Oh my gosh, you can even see my gymnastics studio on the background. We're live. So today we're going to be having two great title holders come on. They're going to talk about Continental Model, who they represent, and they're going to talk about the system, talk about why they do this crazy thing called pageantry. Before we start though, just want to make sure that everybody knows that we are all about positivity and pageantry and being able to highlight the amazing things title holders are doing using a crown and a sash to change their world. So often we hear the negative parts of pageantry and they're not highlighted, and you don't get to have the excitement of what it's all about and how people really do make a difference using a title. You might see their crowning moment and that's it. You never see anything until they give up their crown a year later, or maybe you see reality TV and you think that, Honey Boo Boo is what it's all about. And that's not to say that those are not parts of this, but we really wanted to be able to bring more of the story behind why people do this crazy thing called pageantry. So with that being said, here we go. As soon as I can figure out how to use the technology. Okay. All right, we have our Miss Continental Model. Would you like to introduce yourself, my love?
Hi, I'm Maria Fernanda Estrada, and I'm your Miss Continental Model.
I'm Ms. Continental Model.
Hello, I'm your Miss Continental Model, Yvette Hinojosa.
Thanks for being here. We're so happy to have both of you. I'm so excited. Vanessa had asked me several months ago if we could try to make this happen, and I'm glad we're able to have you both on and just talk a little bit about why you do this crazy thing called pageantry. By the way, if you guys are watching, you want to ask questions, please make sure you keep them PG-13. We do have, younger viewers that watch. So if it's an appropriate question, I will pop it up on screen so people can see it, and I'll read it out loud. But make sure that you keep it clean, people. I hate to have to block people from our show. It just is not appropriate. So, like, Fernanda, why? Well, first of all, let's talk about the system. Let's talk about Continental Model and the areas of competition before we actually go into the why of why you do this. So who wants to be the grown-up that talks about that, or you guys want to do it together?
Okay, well, I can start by saying that this is the third year Continental Model has been going on. The first year, they just had a Miss division, but last year they opened up 6 other divisions, from Little Miss, junior, teen, all of that good stuff. So now we're a really big sisterhood, and yeah, that's how I met Yvette.
Awesome. All right, and what are the areas of competition, Yvette?
So areas of competition, as far as, you mean here locally, or just, this is an international. So
right,
the great
so
thing is,
let's go for the international.
Yes, so Miss Continental is an international pageantry. So it's great. So we have sisters all the way in Nigeria. We have just everywhere. So it's pretty amazing. And even though we haven't personally gotten to meet them yet, it's been great because we actually are all connected through Instagram, all of our social media platforms. So we highly recommend doing something like this pageant, because then you not only have your local friends and sisters that you get to know and you build that sisterhood with, but then you also build an outer network of sisterhood with the international queens as well.
Okay, and so when you guys competed, so Fernanda, what areas did you do interview? Do you do swimsuit, evening gown? Is it like a typical pageant? Tell me a little bit more about that, Fernanda.
Yeah, it's like, like any other pageant. As a Miss, you do have to do the interview, you have to do the swimsuit portion, you do evening gown, and then you do on-stage question. So for the little ones, they usually, the little ones do fashion wear, and then the teens, they'll do activewear. Okay. It's just the Miss and the Misses that, actually, no, I'm sorry. The Misses do activewear as well. Only the Miss do swimsuit.
Okay. So Yvette, you're Ms. or Mrs.?
Ms. So I'm
Okay.
MS.
Okay. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I thought your staff said Ms. So I just want to make sure. So does the Ms. competition change at all? Is it any different?
The only difference was that we, instead of doing bikini or swimwear, we just did activewear. So it was still, because of course most of us are already moms, and so we have mom bodies, and even if we are fit or on the thinner side or whatnot, you're still going to have insecurities as a mom. I know myself, I am more on the thinner side, but still, I was like, hey, I have 2 babies, and
Oh, you look great.
thank you. But I
Girl,
was still.
you're rocking it. I've seen your pictures. Like, stop. Don't even. Like,
Oh, you're
seriously.
sweet. Trust me, quarantine has not been nice to my jeans. Okay, so I told Miss
I've
Vanessa, I
lost
was like,
weight on quarantine. I'm like, what is
oh
going
my
on,
gosh,
man?
so lucky, not me. I told Miss Vanessa, I said, when we finally get to have our pageant, I said, please don't ask me to wear the same dress I won in, because I'm about 4 sizes too big for it.
It'll
But so
all
yes, that
fix
was the only
itself.
difference.
It'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yes.
Like, like it just, this is different. This is different life. We're all having to learn how to, roll with it. And I know, Fernanda, you were saying that you've been pretty much just working on school and having to adjust to all of this. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure Yvette, with you, you're having to learn how to be a teacher at home. And
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I know, I know. It's like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
We have this group chat with all the moms from our kids go to Vanguard, a charter school here locally, and there's all the moms in the classrooms. We chat, and so we send memes all the time, and they sent one the other day saying, you lied to me. My child is not a joy to have in class, and I just couldn't stop laughing, because I was like, oh my gosh, we love our children as parents, but never in my mind, my wildest dreams, did I ever think I was going to have to be a teacher to a 6 and 11-year-old.
You guys, one of you in the group should actually come up with like a progress report that you can all report on what your kids do, and like, so you can go to that part where it's like behavior and go, yeah, that's a 3. Like, out of like 3, like being the worst behavior, and be like, so da 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 does this and this and this, and just
I
to
like
add to
that
the
idea.
fun of, what I'm saying is like, it's changed, like this change. And I mean, it's okay. So Fernando, you said to me you're in McAllen, right? McAllen, Texas.
Yes,
Can
we're
you
both located in
explain? Oh,
McAllen.
you guys are both. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I'm
So,
in far, but it's like literally 10 minutes away
Yeah.
from her. It's all within the same area.
So it's like Brickell and
Coconut Grove. Yeah.
Coconut Grove. There you
Yes,
go.
there
I'm
you go.
learning my Miami little
I'm in Miami. So
sectors.
when I lived in Coppell, which is just outside of Dallas, I lived in Texas for 10 years. And I remember doing a pageant, like doing a parade, and w- me and another pageant queen were in front and back of each other in a parade. So she was in one car, I was in the other, and we were both Mrs. Texas, and both of our names are Stacy. And it
Oh.
turns out we lived a mile away from each other.
Oh,
What?
wow.
So, which was confusing for people, like, wait, why are there two Mrs. Texases? What's going
Yeah.
on? But I mean, obviously in Texas, people understand there's different systems. Around the
Yeah.
world, they don't get it. They don't understand it. I mean, Philippines does, but and from Venezuela does, but other than that, it's like, oh, it's Miss America or Miss USA for everybody else, and even then, people don't necessarily know the difference between that. So,
True.
so Fernanda, tell me, like, was this your first pageant, or have you done pageants before? And
No, actually, I'm pretty sure I started doing pageantry like when I was about 18 years old. This is, I think, my
so last
6th or
month.
7th pageant. No, I wish. I am now 22 years old.
Okay.
Um, but I did start, I mean, here in Texas, they consider it, kind of late to start at 18 because everybody's doing it since they're 3 months old. But I started, when I felt like I wanted to. So I was never pressured into it. It wasn't even something that my parents, pressured me into doing or even brought up. I kind of just like found it on my own. I don't have any sisters. I only have male siblings. So I feel like maybe subconsciously I was looking for, a sisterhood, not to be cliche, but I don't have that at home.
Right.
So I do feel like I went out and I was wandering in the world looking for some sort of sisterhood, and I literally found a sisterhood. So I started doing pageantry. I really enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure this is like my 6th or 7th pageant. My first two pageants were in the teen division. I was right at the
Right. The
cutoff for
yeah.
teen. And then after those two pageants, I moved on to the Miss division, and I was so afraid because I was like the baby in the Miss division.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I going to compete with all these beautiful girls that have like, you know,
Oh,
they
stop.
actually look like a Miss.
You are stunning. As soon as you came on, I went, oh, you're
Yes.
so pretty. Like both of you are
thank
stunning.
you.
She models.
You'll make me blush.
Modest, but she is a rock star here in the RGV. She models with like the top boutiques, top of everything. She is incredible.
She like cheers me on. That's a real sister queen.
I am her #1 cheerleader.
She's so proud of me.
You become the pageant mom for her. So
I am. The funny thing is because I don't have sisters either, so it works out perfectly.
Yeah.
And then Yvette, tell us, like, so you said you started competing younger, or no? What did you do? Tell me a little bit more about that.
I think I was like somewhere between 4 and 6 years old when I first started back in Washington State. So I've been doing,
you know, but
yes,
that must have
and
been weird in Washington because that's not a culture in Washington.
it's not. And the thing is, I'm from Eastern Washington, which is really small. Little. I mean, there was like 16,000 people in
My
this.
husband was born in Everett, so.
Oh my gosh! So my family's from Everett, Arlington, Stanwood area, and I was born in Moses Lake, which is about 3 hours away.
We are 12
And every
fans
summer,
all the way.
yeah.
My Dachshunds have 12 fan jerseys. We'll just leave it at that.
Oh,
So.
that's so awesome! I love it. We get a lot of grief for that because we obviously are too, and my husband is a native here, and I converted him. So trust me, I totally understand that. But yeah, so I started when I was little because I am the only girl of 4 of us, all male siblings as well. And my mom, you know, being her little princess, wanted to doll me up, and she was a reigning queen and had done pageants in Mexico, and so for her it was cool. So living in this small town, she said, okay, I need to see what I need to do. And she found the biggest pageants that she could do that were like around the world. They would meet in different areas. So we would drive all the way to Seattle. It was like a 4-day event. And it was incredible. I mean, being so young to be raised in that. And for me, I felt like it really helped me to become the woman that I am because I didn't have sisters. And even though I'm a very social butterfly, bubbly, I still was real tosta, like real, like a tomboy in a sense, because all I knew was my brothers, my boy cousins. I had a bunch of boy uncles, so that was normal for me. So it really helped me to be more feminine and poised. And then I really became very girly, which it was fun. But the funny thing is, like we were stating, it was very different too because over there is a lot of like politics, and it's very who you know, and so I could never really reach that. Like I won. It's always first runner up, first runner up. I thought, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? You know, and there was nothing I was doing wrong. It just wasn't my time. And as soon as I moved here, it was title, and I was like, wow. I mean, I don't know what I was doing wrong. I was competing in the wrong state. I have too big of hair for Washington or something.
The higher your hair, the closer you are to God. Hello.
Amen. So I competed here with the Miss RGB with Debbie Lou Productions, and I was Miss RGB 2018. And then after that year, I took some time, and then I spoke to Miss Vanessa, and she let me know that they were going to be doing Miss Division for Continental. So I thought, you know what? I mean, at this point in my life, I felt like I was supposed to be competing. I was like, but my husband is such an amazing person. He encouraged me. So I said,
so sweet.
That's one. Yeah, I really was. I honestly, I mean, you can ask Miss Vanessa. I was like, no, I'm too old for this. I shouldn't be doing this. Like I'm looking around like I'm like 18 years old and, you know, having to compete with beautiful souls and women like Maria Fernanda. And I thought, oh my gosh, no, what am I doing? And you know, lo and behold, I felt very blessed to win this pageant, and it's been by far the best training experience ever.
That's awesome. I mean, I get it.
That's
Like
so
I started here. but I wasn't. Florida's a little different animal, and I wasn't. I mean, I was always first runner up, first runner up, first runner up, first runner up, and at 30, I was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and then moved to Texas when I was 35. And my 5-year anniversary is 9/11, and I was like, okay, we're making some changes in my life. And I got to Texas, and I literally had a dream. I won a pageant. So I entered a pageant because I wanted to tell my story. And
Yeah, of
so
course.
having a crown allows you to really have those opportunities. And since the culture was, I think that was it, is that the culture was just so rich with, yeah, if you're not doing football, you're doing cheerleading or pageants, or maybe both. Like it just, so it's a sport. It's a sport in
Yes.
Texas.
It really is, though, and I do feel like some people don't see it like that. And it's like, have you ever done a pageant? It takes so much discipline,
Yes.
courage, because you really are putting yourself out there. I mean, even if they're judging you, you are being scored, obviously not in a demeaning way, but at the end of the day, you are being judged, and it takes courage to put yourself out there to be like, hey, you know what, this is me. I'm confident enough for you to like just give it to me. What am I doing wrong? I'll be better. So I do feel like a lot of people just think it's like, I mean, it is pretty glamorous, when you watch the video, right? But if you're backstage,
It's a whole
there's
different
nothing
thing.
glam about it.
It's a whole
You would
different.
never know.
Yeah, yeah. As you're all going, oh my gosh, my dress broke. What do I do? Or I forgot my highlighter. I mean, what? And I laugh because a lot of people think miscongeniality is a joke, but there are some parts to miscongeniality that are so real. Like, yeah,
No, but
yeah, me
of
too.
course.
Me
Day
too.
of, I couldn't find, I hope it's okay to say, I couldn't find my strapless bra. I was missing my undershirt for my interview outfit. It was a beautiful suit, but the way it buttoned, it only had one button, so it was open. And I thought, oh my gosh, like I cannot go in there with just, well, hello, here I am. I mean, so many things. And then it was after I won, I'm going, everything appeared. I'm going, this is insane. Like I felt like just the end of the world was happening at that moment, and you have to just figure it out. You call on your sisters, hey, who can I borrow from? What do I do? You're running around, borrowing bobby pins, safety pins, everything you can. But that's, part of the experience. And that's what makes it so much fun. And it's honestly movies like this Congeniality, and even the one with, I even think of Reese Witherspoon, when she's
Legally
the
Blonde.
attorney. Yes, just,
Yes.
the simplicity of
I do
how
too.
beautiful and adorable they are. And there's this misconception of pageantry, like Anna was talking about earlier. There's this stereotype, with pageantry that it's just, you just have to be skinny. You just have to be beautiful or else you won't win. And it really is not. I mean, and especially here, I contest, I am living proof. I don't mean me as a physical person, but I mean like I've seen and witnessed it, that it doesn't, those things don't matter, especially here in Texas. And
No,
that's
no. When I was the first title holder for the very first plus size pageant, and I represented Texas. And I would remember, like, I would start to do appearances because this was 2003, so it was a little still like the norm of, or the change of what pageantry has become and how it's changed. People would be like, "Oh, that's so sweet, sweetheart. Where did you buy that crown?" And I'd be like, "Cause I'm a size 14." Like, and I made a decision that I survived cancer. Like it's me. This is who I am. If I'm healthy at this and I feel comfortable at this, y'all are just gonna have to get a grip.
yeah, I
But
love
that's
it.
what it's all about. It's all
Right.
about confidence, and it's
Yeah.
all about, like standing there and being, hey, this is who I am.
Right.
If you like it, cool. And if you don't, well, okay, I can get better at my skills, but at the end of the day, this is who I am. This is my platform. This is what I stand for. I'm confident, and you know what? Confidence is really what gets you a crown. At the end of the day, your intelligence, your perseverance, your resilience, your confidence, those are the things that I do really believe that. I mean, I have been a judge before. I've been a judge a couple of times, local pageants, and that's really what I look for in, the contestants. Like, tell me your story. How has it made you a better person? Why are you here? What have you gone through? I mean, I'm obviously not looking the most tragic story is going to win. It's not about that. You could have fallen down on the pavement and cut yourself, and you had an epiphany of how, you have to be a better person in the world because we all get hurt. Who knows? It's not about the most tragic story. It's about like, hey, what happened to you? How did you take that? How did that make you a better person? Are you willing to help other people? Like, how is that thing that impacted you? How are you willing to take it and impact the rest of the world?
That's
So
amazing.
It's really that what makes you or breaks you in a competition.
And I tell, like, I think that Pia Warsbach, Miss Universe 2015, says it best. The tagline for Miss USA is confidently beautiful, but she says confidently beautiful with a heart. And it's true.
Yeah.
Like, we as title holders are changing the world, as I say in our opening, changing the world with a crown and a sash. And it might be our world. It may be, our 10 square miles or whatever it is. But my catchphrase for my program is a drop in the ocean still becomes a wave of change. So
of course,
you change yourself, you help somebody else, that goes forward. That whole pay it forward thing is for real. And that's really, to me, what pageantry is really about. So
can I really quick, where is this playing live?
It's on Facebook Live on PageantryNOW.
Okay, because I have a few people who have been texting saying that they
say, where
can't
are
see
you? They can't see us. It's on. Yeah. Oh no.
So like,
oh my gosh. Did my husband not change?
Because I went on there.
It might be his imagination. Oh no. Hold on. Yeah, she just said the same thing. Hold on. I think that we're on imagination, I think. Oh, I love technology. So that means my students are logging in going, Miss Stacy, what are you doing? We are live on Imagination. All right. Hold on a second. Half of the interview will be on Imagination, and we'll upload it to Pageantry Now on YouTube. But let me close out really quick, and then I'll start us back up. We won't go back and backtrack it, but we'll try to splice it together for YouTube, okay?
Perfect.
Okay.
See,
Don't worry
I told
about
you.
it.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. All right, I'll stay right here. You guys don't disconnect. I'm just going to change the input, okay?
Okay.
Pageantry Now. Apparently, we've been live streaming on our gymnastics platform at Imagination. My mistake. I didn't realize it. Again, my whole life is. Everybody's lives have been changed dramatically, but we've been using this program that we use for Pageantry Now to teach gymnastics from my living room. So I apologize. So as guests today, we have Fernanda Estrada, Miss Continental model, and Yvette Hinojosa.
Hinojosa.
Girl, okay, wait, say it again. And I speak Spanish, so I like Hinojosa. Finally, Vanessa goes, thank you.
No worries. It's just pronounced E, like Hinojosa.
Because it's the silent. Got it. Oh boy. Okay, so thanks for joining us, everybody. We appreciate it. Pageantry Now is all about positivity in pageantry and highlighting the amazing things title holders do. We will kind of go back and just touch a little bit. I will try to take the first 20, 30 minutes that we were speaking. And hi, how are you? Thank you for Mabuhay. Thanks for joining us from the Philippines. And on our YouTube channel, when we upload this, I will try to have my husband use his magic and splice it together. So, but so that everybody here can see and hear. And now I see all the people popping in. I should have figured it out. My gymnastics students are going, "What's Miss Stacy doing?" Because they've been watching. So let's talk. Fernanda, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and where you're from and your title.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maria Fernanda Estrada. I'm your Miss Continental model, and I am from McAllen, Texas.
All right, and Yvette.
Hi, I am Yvette Hinojosa. I'm your Miss Continental model, and I also am from the RGB. I live in FAR.
Awesome. And I don't know if you guys knew who Rhonda Hottishell is. She is the owner and founder of Crown Clips, and she's in the house. So I always like to say hi to her, because
Hi.
if you have a crown that doesn't stay on, get one of her crown clips. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying we promote her or anything. It's because she's a legend in pageantry, and tries to actually help people out, which I think is phenomenal. So, and her product works. So,
That's a
anyways,
good idea.
yeah, I mean, because how many times are you in an appearance and you put your head down and it starts to come off, and you're like,
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. I have her up here. Oh, she's huge. I thought she was gonna fall.
don't let her fall. Mine's above my head, but you can't see it. So anyways, uh, so let's talk again. Let's do like a review of Continental Model. You're crying. Oh, stop, Rhonda. No, don't cry. And then from the Philippines, shout out to your girlfriend, Catriona. Catriona is amazing. Catriona Gray, for anybody that doesn't know, she's been on the show. She's an amazing woman. We love her. So
I know. I love her.
she is like so magical. If you ever have the opportunity to talk to her, I interviewed her during Media Week. We are officially one of the media outlets that gets to interview her, Miss Universe. And then when she was giving up her crown, I got to hold the crown, the new crown, $5 million crown. So Kat held it, then I held it, and I was like, this is not happening to me. I'm like, and people ask me, what was it heavy? Was it light? I'm like, I don't know. It's like when you
I
get
don't remember.
crowned. It's like, and I was like, for 1 minute, I was Miss Universe and I didn't care. And then the thing that
Yeah.
was funny is like when I went to see her, like to interview her again, she's like, oh, I remember when we talked on PageantryNOW. I'm like, oh my God, how can you remember that? Like, legit.
I know
Anyways,
she does seem like just like this like radiant, like glowing light. Like I see her on Instagram and I'm like, I know we would be such good friends. Like, can we be best friends?
no,
She just looks like an amazing person.
she really is that way. She is absolutely. Somebody from Ireland is saying good evening from Ireland. I hope everything is good there. I don't
I love
talk.
Ireland.
Yeah, say hi. So the person EQ from the Philippines has a question for P or Kat, but I don't talk to P or Kat on a regular basis. It has to go through the Miss Universe organization, so I won't ask the question. All right, so Maria Fernanda, I just put Fernanda here. Tell us the what you competed in as Miss Continental Model, and then Yvette, you'll just talk a little bit about the divisions and like because you guys are growing, right? So let's talk, Fernando. So tell us what you competed in your as Miss Continental Model.
Yes, I competed as Miss Continental Model. Previously, I was holding the preliminary title Miss Hidalgo County. So we do live in the county of Hidalgo, so I was representing my county proudly. I competed in the interview category, swimsuit, evening gown, and then obviously my favorite part of the night, on stage question.
Really? That's your favorite? Oh, we will talk about that. I didn't know that. Okay, that's good.
yeah, I think that's, your personality really shines through. We competed in McAllen, Texas, actually here. We stayed at the Embassy Suites. Well, people from out of town, they stayed at the Embassy Suites. That's where the pageant was held.
Mm-hmm.
And the activities were about 4 days long. It was, very, very interesting competition. We had salsa night, we had pajama night. We really built a sisterhood. We bonded, and it was at the point that you were on stage and you were waiting to hear who was gonna win, and you're like, doesn't matter who wins. I love everyone here. Like we all built.
Awesome.
You almost didn't even want to win because you were like, whoever takes home the crown is just, everyone's so nice, everyone's so generous, and it's really a sisterhood. Like the night of the pageant, if things would go missing or you were missing a bobby pin, an earring, the back of an earring.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, for some reason they get lost really fast. The back of the earring. You literally just have to say hello. general announcement, I'm missing the back of the earring, and all of a sudden you see like arms, you know, like with 20 parts of the earring. And it's really I do feel like I don't think that happens everywhere. I mean, I don't know, I've never competed outside of Texas, but I have heard that it's not like that everywhere. And I do feel like we're blessed to have participated in a system where our director really does encourage us to build a bond, and she really emphasizes on the fact that, hey, you know what, we don't want catty people here, we don't want catty queens. Miss Continental model is all about genuine connections and, you know, genuine women. So I really feel blessed to have this opportunity.
See, I love that. That's what we need, man. And I will tell you, as someone has had some epically monumental bad rains, that where I was like, oh, this is gonna be a really long year.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, like, if sometimes you compete in a pageant, you don't know the director, you don't know the system really well, and then you get into it and you're like, oh no. But I've also, like, my two best friends are a previous director that I had and my current director. Like,
Oh wow.
I talk to them every day. Like, they're
Yeah.
my best friends. So one of them's here in Miami, the other one's in California. So, like, I got it. And then, so Yvette, like, I know that just recently, we talked about it before, that the Miss division was how the system started. You're in your third year, and then this last year you guys expanded. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes, so it's great that now we have, of course, this is an international competition pageant. So not only are we local for having our local titles, but of course it's international. So it's great that we have a sisterhood that we can connect with other women across the country.
World.
And so with us, of course, it's great because it started off with just one division. They just had just the Miss, and then now they've expanded it. So we have the younger generation to do the princess and preteen, teen, Ms, and then of course Ms. This was a great opportunity for me because it's our first year doing it here as the Ms. So I felt very honored and blessed to be able to represent this title. And the sisterhood, like Maria Fernanda was saying, like I feel so close to these girls. And even though I am a mom, even the pageant moms are like a pageant mom for me. And
Yeah.
dating, it's just such a beautiful experience. And being now that we had, of course, the different things to do. So we had our, of course, on stage interview. And then that was, I believe, just for the teen Ms. and the Miss and Ms., if I'm not mistaken. And then it was a little bit different because for Maria Fernanda's age division, for the Miss, she had to do swimwear. And then for myself, it was activewear. And it was really nice because I know for me being a mom, even though I try to stay somewhat in shape and whatnot, I will be honest, I don't work out, but my kids keep me busy. So that is a workout.
We went through this before. You are stunning. I've seen the pictures.
Yes.
Just stop.
We will tell you this again.
And embrace it. Embrace it. You are
Yes,
gorgeous.
absolutely.
And the curves are who you are. So, like, at the end of the day, like, that's you. And I, my title is Mrs. Perfect Glamour International, and I've had people go, "Why are you perfect?" And I'm like, "'Cause I'm the only me there is." Like,
Of course.
oh, Rhonda wants to know, do they have like a classic over 50 division, or is Ms. from what age to what age? Do you know?
I believe for the Miss, it was up until I want to say 36. So I think it's from like a 20, I believe it was like 24 to 36 or something like that. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. I know Miss Vanessa's on
Vanessa, if you can answer Rhonda's, because Rhonda clearly is asking. So,
yes,
and for
yes.
people like me, that I'll be 54 in 28 days. But
What?
like,
No way.
You look great.
Yeah.
Stunning. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Great genes.
Oh, thank you.
That Latina blood.
Skincare routine.
No, and I'm
after
not
this.
even, there's no Latina blood. I am so gringa, it's not even funny. But
She
I
was
live in
literally
Miami.
telling me that people always assume that she's
That
like
I'm
a
Hispanic.
Latina.
I would have.
Really?
Yeah, you have that like Texas like twang with the with the Latina blood. So you don't necessarily look, but you just have
I
a
have
like
the attitude.
yeah.
Miami will do that to you.
Miami does it. It really does. And I forget. Like, it's so funny. I'm from Michigan originally, like that's where I grew up. So when I moved here, like, which this is aside, but I am to American parents. My dad's family is French Canadian. My mom's family is Irish, and Scottish. So there is no Hispanic. I
Wow.
didn't have a nanny. I didn't, but my first word was agua. I spoke Spanish for like the first 3 months. Hey, Robin, how you doing, babe? Um, so for the first 3 months of my life, my dad kept trying to correct me. Thank God he spoke Spanish because he knew that I kept saying agua, and he's like water, and I go, sí, agua, papa, agua, papa. And we don't know where, like, we have, I mean, and then, but I mean, I will tell you, I was obsessed with I Love Lucy as a kid, so I loved Ricky Ricardo. So I moved here when I was 13. I went, oh my gosh, he's for real, like for real, for real, like they're everywhere, this is awesome. So
That is
yes.
so cute.
And I told Fernanda that my high school, I graduated in 84, but my high school was 75% Hispanic, 20% Black Caribbean, and 5% white Caucasian. So like I had to integrate, and I just, but when I'm with Hispanic people, and I told her when I moved to Texas, it was so weird because I lived in Dallas, so I speak Spanish because like I have to here. So the first, and we do the whole, oh, mucho gusto, como anda, like, and the whole, like, get in people's face. And so when I moved to Texas, the first Hispanic I walked down, I said, hola. I said, hola, mi nombre es Señora Stacy, ¿cómo estás? And the guy was like, hi there. This is the United States. We speak English here. Very nice to meet you. And I went,
It's funny
oh,
how
this
some
is,
people get offended, like
I
just because
know.
in an area, they expect you to speak. Like, what? I don't care. You're either going to speak English or you're supposed to speak Spanish. It's like, I mean, I just kind of go with the flow. I wait till they speak, and then I'm like, okay, I'll go with whatever
go
language
with
they
that.
are, so that I don't offend anybody.
It was a learning curve for me. I mean, and I know, like, in McAllen, it's mostly probably 80-90% Hispanic. So, oh, Vanessa says the missed categories are 25% each: interview, photogenic, swimsuit, and evening gown. Thank you, Vanessa. We will put that up so everyone can see it. You guys can't see it, but they can see it on the broadcast. So, so that we know the missed categories, and then if you can tell us the other ones, Vanessa, I appreciate it. But like, it's interesting how culturally it changes, and the same thing, like, just we were talking before about how pageantry is so different in Texas. And I know with you, Yvette, you said you started competing when you were a kid in Washington because your mom was a former Miss Mexico. Is that correct?
So she competed. I will be honest, I don't remember the title. It's been so long since we've talked about what she was, but she did compete in Monterrey. So if I'm not mistaken, it was for like Miss Monterrey or something like
Okay.
that. It was a big title, and she did win. So it was pretty awesome to know that my mom was it was a title holder, and
La
she said
Reina.
it was the only one that she ever competed in, and she won. And she was so young that by the time she had it, I think she had her title for about a year, and then pretty much gave up her title and got married and pregnant and did the whole family. So it was just one awesome year of winning. And yeah, and for her, it was like, this is an amazing experience. So when I have a daughter, I want her to experience it. And of course, they gave me the options, but I mean, what little girl doesn't want to dress up in pretty dresses and play with other girls and just do all the fun things? And so I thought, well, this is a win-win. I mean, on the days off, I get to have fun with my brothers and my cousins and kind of be that girly tomboy outside. But then on the side, what I was doing in my pageant, I was very focused and very, hey, this is what I do for, like, almost like you go into work mode. It really is like we were talking a sport in a sense. For me, that was my sport that I competed and I took it very serious.
In Texas, it's a sport. Like, and I mean, in parts of South America, it is as well. Parts of Central America, it is. The Philippines, it is. Like, it's life. Here in the United
Yeah.
States, I know it. Like in Miami, they kind of go, "Oh, you do pageants." That's sweet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a second. Telemundo is here. Univision is here. How do you guys not get it? Hello. So listen, Linda. So
There it is. There's a Latina.
So Vanessa says that the Ms. Teen, Junior Miss, and under ages all do 25% interview, fitness, photogenic, and evening gown. And then she says that the onstage question is only for Miss Teen and Ms. That you have the final onstage question. So, all right. So let's talk about like what are you guys doing with your titles? So I know you've had some pretty amazing opportunities. So Fernanda, let's talk about what have you been doing? Like how are you and or your platform if you want to talk about that as well.
Okay,
If you
well,
have one, because not
I
everybody
can
does.
talk a little bit about everything. Don't worry.
Dale.
Okay, well, first let's start off with my platform. So my platform is mental health awareness. My little quote that I like to live by myself, obviously, because I apply this to me, and that's why I wanted to apply it to, well, trying to help people, maybe apply it to themselves, is be kind to your mind. I do believe that being kind to your mind is like, key to everything, the key to success, the key to happiness. Usually we go out there looking for happiness and
Sorry, I don't know
happiness
if
in
it's
other
hot there, but
places.
it's 93 degrees here, so I'm turning off fan.
Uh,
Is it
It's
hot in
yeah,
here right now?
yes.
I think so. I haven't really gone outside, but
Yeah, I'm
it's
like,
pretty hot.
has anybody actually left the house to know? Probably
Yeah.
not. Sorry. Okay, so be kind to your mind. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, don't worry about it. So yeah, I do feel like we go out there and we look for happiness, in other places, but I do believe that it starts within us. I am a psychology major. I'm almost done with my psychology degree. I will go on to pursue my clinical therapist.
I'm an
That I
ABA.
mean, oh really?
Yep.
You know what? Maybe
And
you should give me little tips.
fun fact, I have Asperger's.
Wow, no.
Pageantry allowed me to actually learn how to deal with. So for those who don't know, Asperger's is a type of autism, and
On the
pageantry,
spectrum.
it's on the spectrum. Yeah, I mean, everybody goes, now they kind of go, it's not really autism. I'm like, dude, when you're going through it, it's autism. Trust me. But yeah, pageantry helped me normalize, if that's even like
Yeah.
possible.
Incredible.
Well, really, it's kind of also a gift. People with like they tend to excel in
I
the
love it.
things that they really focus their attention to. So I mean, if you would put your mind to be the president of the United States, you probably could have made it. It is really a blessing in disguise. A lot of people look down upon any type of like mental disorder or any type of classification, but it's not, even depression, it's things that you can't control, things that most of the population have. People believe that it's like a 2% of the population, and probably your neighbor, your brother, your sister, people really don't
You
even
don't know.
figure out that they
Right.
have stuff like that. But anyway, so I am pursuing my major in psychology. I will move on to hopefully, right, it's in my plans, to get my master's
Not
degree.
hopefully, you will do it.
I
She
mean,
will.
I believe in myself. I do.
Right.
But at this point, you never know what's going to happen in life. I really learned that this year, and it was kind of like, okay, maybe don't make plans that far into the future. But it is in my close goals right now. Like it is in my 5-year plan. And I really enjoy doing what I do. I do feel like it's a very important cause, and I really enjoy, talking to people, explaining what maybe I've been through, maybe if it helps them, in any sort of way. If I can help one person, I mean, I think that's enough. So I have been doing that with my platform, and then something super exciting about Miss Continental Model, some of the things that we've been able to really get to do.
Rhonda Hoddingshell says you do it, girl. So
Thank you.
she's convinced you'll do it too. So okay.
um, I got to experience New York Fashion Week because it is the major prize for the winner. So it's a huge, huge prize. The opportunity is enormous. I made so many new friends over there. I actually helped. Well, I booked my own jobs once I was over there. Like we get to walk for local designers here. It's part of our prize. And then when you're over there, our director really always encourages to like, hey, you're already here. Go out there.
Take advantage of it.
And yeah, take advantage of it. Modeling is really like my passion. I love modeling. So being on the runway is kind of like the best thing that could happen to me. So once I was over there, Miss Vanessa, which is our director, she was really like, hey, you know what, guys, like go out there. Like if you want to like book more jobs, like that's on you. You're already here. You have this opportunity.
Right.
And she always supported us along the way. So that's what I did. I got more jobs. And really, I'm baffled that I even got the opportunity to experience New York Fashion Week, because it usually takes, a while to, get there. And our director really just gave us the opportunity she was like, you know what, guys, I'm going to take you. You deserve this. This is your prize. And I was like, I can't believe this is a prize. Like, you never get prizes. Like, wow. But she really cares about us, and she really cares about, us being able to reach bigger audiences for our platform in any way that we can. So
That's so cool.
if anybody's watching, sign up for Miss Continental Model, because you will be able to experience New York Fashion Week.
Okay, so Vet, I'm gonna just interject a little bit. I started modeling when I was 13. I walked New York Fashion Week this year at 53. That was my first time. So
Get it, girl.
Hey, this is my first time too. It's never too late,
okay, but let me tell you, like, never in my wildest dreams of doing my modeling did I ever think that opportunity would ever come. So to be on that stage, and so my tie-in with that is, Yvette, how does that feel? Like, you're a mom, you've got 2 kids, you said that, you've got that kind of, I think sometimes you're kind of like maybe a little bit more apprehensive because you've got curves, like you've had babies, like that whole thing happens. How did it feel being on the stage at New York Fashion Week?
So I'll be honest, I unfortunately was not able to go. My
Oh
father-in-law passed
no.
away. I
Oh
know,
no, I'm
I
so
know.
sorry.
There were circumstances, and so I what happened was I had a conference that I was going to, and then I was gonna actually like go to New York Fashion Week and then fly to Florida for my conference. And so I was trying to make everything work. And in the midst of everything, my father-in-law passed away the day that the girls were leaving. So we were actually on our way to the hospital to, just see him and maybe say our goodbyes, so that if anything happened, I would have said my goodbyes. But because everything happened so quickly, my husband is a disabled vet, so I needed to be here for him. So I took the decision. I made the decision. Of course, I got permission from Miss Vanessa, my director, who was extremely supportive. All of my sister queens were extremely supportive, and letting me know, hey, we're here for you. Anything you need, we're praying for you. Do what you need to do for your family. And so that's what I did. So unfortunately, I didn't get to experience
My
it, but
husband just
I will
walked in the
say,
room, so hold on a second. Sorry. I just heard the TV set go on, so
no worries, no
hi,
worries.
babe. Okay, thanks. Sorry. So you didn't get to go.
So, but I was cheering them on. Of course, a part of me was like, oh my gosh, like New York Fashion Week. I'll be honest, I've been modeling since I was a little girl as well. So I used to model for Maurice's and do commercial print and some other. I worked with Wilhelmina agency in Seattle, and I had actually gotten a contract with La Agencia in Milan, Italy, when I was 17. So I had the experience of a lifetime to do modeling throughout my years. Now I am 36 years old. I'm a mother, 2 beautiful boys, and happily married to my amazing vet. And so although I didn't get to experience that, there's so many other opportunities I've been able to be a part of in my community. And that for me was the biggest thing, because I'm originally from Washington. And even though I had titles over there and I would get involved, I never felt that I was embraced as much as I have been here in this community. When I got my title with the Continental model, and even previous with Miss RGB, I was able to really connect with the community and build relationships with like the RGB Food Bank, with the disability chambers, whether it was the Wounded Warrior Project, Operation Homefront for the military side, as well as with disabilities like with autism. I have a great friend who was working with the disability chamber, and she is the president of that. She started the disability chamber for the RGB area, so it's great. I believe they're like only 5 here nationwide so far, and we've got one here. And so
I've
it's
never
been
heard of it. That's awesome. So that's fantastic.
yeah,
We need more of that. So By the way,
Yes.
Rana Hadishel says her son is autistic, has Asperger's. And she also says, love New York Fashion Week. And then her question is next year, maybe, for New York Fashion Week?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
have to
God
go
willing,
then.
if we get back to the normal life, please. Okay,
We'll all
Yes.
see each other there, please.
Yes, and it is a dream. It's a dream of mine since I was a little girl. And it was something like, I mean, I'll just tell you, I was broken because it was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? This is my ultimate dream to be a part of New York Fashion Week. And there was
Ay,
just so many
pobrecita.
other things we're taking on that I just said, you know what? I put it in the Lord's hand, and I just trusted not only my faith and but my family, you know, and I knew that my husband needed me, so I just said, you know what, this is where I need to be right now, and there's always other opportunities. And I like I said, you know, Miss Vanessa has created so many opportunities, whether it's modeling for local boutiques, doing photo shoots for photographers here locally that are very well known. We've really been able to get out there and, like I said, be a part of our community too, as a like an influencer in a sense, but in a good way. I'm not doing it for the money or for like gifts. Like it really is such a rewarding feeling.
Truthfully, in pageantry, how many of us really do it for the prize package?
Yeah.
Honestly.
No,
Yeah.
I think you spend more money than
That you
you
make
could ever
do you ever
make.
get
Yes.
when you I agree. And I remember when like I when I competed for Team USA, like my whole brain was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get $250,000 and I'm gonna have this and I'm gonna have that. And I was like, oh, so not that. And now that I've had national, international titles, I realize it's not that. It's this opportunity to
Yeah.
hopefully help other people share the stories that go out and actually make a difference. And I think maybe that is maybe that mindset shift, because I know that when you're teen and you're Miss, there's this mindset that kind of goes with it. Clearly with you, Fernanda, it's as Miss, you're already in that mindset of this is service, which I think is
Yeah.
amazing, because it really should be.
Yeah.
It's about giving back. I feel personally we have a responsibility, and I often say that as a national title holder, you are an ambassador to your country. As an international title holder, you're an ambassador to the world. You're able to come in contact with people that are having the most dire situations, and yet sometimes you'll have opportunities to be with the people that are the president or the prime minister of a country in that same country. So as a title holder, you have that unique opportunity to kind of bring those two worlds together, where generally that doesn't happen in the regular world. So
Right. No,
pageantry is
absolutely.
magic, man, and people don't get it. Like, I wish that's really where this show comes from, is trying to let people understand, like, this whole thing, it's crazy. We're putting ourselves out there to be judged, and let's
Yeah.
face it, it's subjective. But what I feel like, for me, and maybe you guys can say, for me, I win so much more inside from the opportunity. How do you feel about that, Fernanda?
Honestly, I one of the reasons that I actually do pageantry is because I do feel like it requires a lot of discipline. You know, when I was younger, I wasn't the most disciplined in I'd make up my mind, you know what, right, today I'm gonna do horseback riding, and now I'm gonna do this, and now I'm gonna do art. And I know I would never really like, well, actually, I did stick to horseback riding and soccer, but other than that, I was just all over the place, you know, and I never really disciplined myself in anything besides like sports. But I wanted to find another side of me, you know, that be creative or artistic or any sort of way. And I found pageantry through modeling, because I started modeling
Right.
first. You know, I started
Yeah.
modeling a couple of years before I did pageantry. I guess just one thing led to the other. But I did do it because of the discipline. I did it because I did feel like it would make me a stronger person. I felt like I would have a voice, you know, but maybe sometimes you have a story and you're afraid to tell it because you're afraid of what people might say. But then when you have a sash and when you have a crown, it kind of pushes you to like, hey, you know what, this isn't about you anymore, now you have a responsibility. um people are kind of expecting, people are kind of expecting for you to do something. So I think that I was looking for that motivation of like, hey, you know what, this isn't about myself anymore. Like, you have a story to tell. This will kind of make you tell it, you know? So it kind of pressured me, but in a good way. I was looking for that pressure. I was looking to find something where I would be disciplined. I was looking for something where I would be challenged, and coming out of it, I would say, hey, I'm stronger because I stood there on stage confident in a bathing suit. It doesn't matter if I have abs or no abs. You know, even people who have a completely rocking body sometimes aren't 100% comfortable
They don't feel
standing
comfortable.
there.
Exactly. Rhonda
Exactly. So
says,
you
step
have to
outside of
stop.
yourself. You have to step outside of yourself. Like Rhonda says. It is true.
Exactly.
And I always
It's
say you ease into discomfort, you ease into that place where it's not like you can't get out. If you live in fear, you're not living. So if you step into that place where
exactly.
maybe you're going to have to push yourself a little bit, you grow as a person.
Yeah,
So,
and that's what I was looking for. I was
right.
really looking for growth. Um, I wanted to put myself in uncomfortable situations. I wanted to step out of my comfort zone. I wanted to know something that I had never experienced. And I don't know, I guess my friends would tell me that I was kind of like, you know, crazy for doing it. They're like, oh, it's so, you know, it could be humiliating sometimes. Like, you're going to stand there and they're going to tell you that you're not pretty enough and that you lose. And I'm like, well, that's the point. I don't want to be afraid. So you know what? Maybe I'm walking down the street one day and somebody tells me like, hey, you know what? You're not good looking enough. And I'll be like, please, they already told me that in front of
Whatever.
300 people. That's not going to hurt my feelings. You know, like, I wanted to grow as a person and I wanted to get tougher. And pageantry does make you, you know, kind of have to be tougher. It gives you like tougher skin. So I wanted that. I didn't want to be someone that didn't have or that lacked confidence. I wanted to be confident and I wanted to be hard to hurt. And that comes from believing enough in yourself that really no one can truly hurt you when you have enough confidence in yourself. So I think I really gained that.
It's good. I said, and we said it on the previous one that was on my gymnastics page. Oh my gosh, that Pia Warsbach uses the quote. She says that confidently beautiful with a heart, and I think that's really what this is about. And you know, I mean, I laugh and I say I'm so much like Sandra Bullock in Miss Congeniality, but my first national pageant, I face planted an evening gown on stage and still placed.
Wow.
So
It's the
like, but
confidence.
it's the confidence. Like I remember thinking in my brain, you know what? She stood up, threw her hair back, and kept going. So that was exactly what I did. And I mean, you know, because those are the things that go through your head. Oh my gosh, what if I slip on stage? What if,
Yeah.
you know, my dress comes off? What if you see my you know, my tushy when I'm in my bathing suit? What if my panty line shows through my evening gown? Like, there's so many
Yeah.
things that go through your head that you're like, you know, what if I stutter when you know, we can psych ourselves out of it. And that's where I think pageantry allows us to go to that place that it's not comfortable. And I mean, I don't know with Yvette, what about with you? What do you think? Like, what do you think about it? Do you?
I mean, a lot of what Fernanda said is very much alike. But for me, I was always, even though, like I said before, I am a social butterfly, it was always easy for me to make friends and whatnot. But I also grew up in a very small community, all agriculture, more farming.
Right.
And so for me, it was very different. I was always like in this little shell, this little box, very timid little like mouse, very scared of the world. And I grew up in a very religious home, which I'm very proud of, you know, and I still have those beliefs and morals implemented in my life and in my children. But at the same time, because of that, I was very scared of the outside world. And so for me, it was very positive because I was able to break out of that shell. And I will be very honest again, I think it comes down to a lot of your community and who is your
Right.
director, who
And who
you're putting
supports
yourself.
you? Right.
Yeah. And for me, I've always had the support of my family and friends, and that's never changed. But it was something different about when I'm here and I competed here in Texas, that the amount of outpouring, like encouragement and love and people letting me know, like, Eva, who cares if you're a mom, if you have, if you don't feel comfortable, because I never was that girl. I mean, I always was kind of on the thinner side, and yet I still never wore bikinis. I never was that girl, like showing off my body, because I've always just been very scared. And not that the pageant world needed to break me out. Now I'm just all, vivacious and out there. But to a certain degree, it did. It really opened up my eyes to realize, what, I can love myself for everything that I am, curves and all. And it helped me to really learn to love myself in such a different way, where now I'm more confident. I feel like I speak better, and it's not that I'm speaking eloquently or anything like that, but I have confidence behind the words that I say, versus it used to be very, because you get twisted and you're feeling like you're having to think about everything that you're saying, versus, hey, this is who I am and I'm happy about who I am. And I love who I am. And I'm grateful for those people like my director, Miss Vanessa, and my sisters, that helped me to see who I am and realize, hey, you know what, I could be having a bad day, but one of them will text me out of the blue or just send an encouraging little message on Instagram. And it's a beautiful feeling to know that you have that outside community besides just your regular family and friends. And so, me again, it was just that building that confidence, and it was a lot of discipline, because I was going, okay, I need to get past this hurdle of feeling like I'm not good enough, because it was just first place, first runner up, never really the title holder winner. And once I got past that, and I realized, you know what, I don't even care now. I'm just doing it because there is such, like, growing up in the church is that same way of thinking. See, and I'm already doing the because I'm trying to overthink what I'm saying.
Okay, so we're gonna stop. For anybody that's watched the show, they know this. There is a video. There's me interviewing a Miss USA. There's a clicker of how many times in a 10-minute interview she and I sat down. We will leave it at 62 was the last count. So there you go. Don't feel pressure.
There's no way we're beating that. There's no way.
No. So, but it's that feeling of gratitude when you serve, and that service, like, oh my gosh, it's just such an amazing feeling. And this is something with the pageantry. And I'm not saying like outside of this you can't do it, but it's a great platform and place to start, to realize, oh my gosh, I can do so much in my community. I look at some of my sister queens that have started up their own recycling like programs in their community because there was nothing set in place.
I see kids that start service projects when they're teens that now are the 4-Day Foundation, which is an international program for children that are going through cancer treatments, that they go and we have title holders go and have parties for these kids. It started as a teen service project and now is an international nonprofit. So this is, my husband. Oh yeah, Miss Amazing. Miss Amazing started off as a 13-year-old's service project, and is now an international pageant.
That's incredible. See, and those are the things that they open your eyes to, there's so much potential and possibility with the pageant world. It's not just a pretty face with a crown and a sash. We really are trying to break that stereotype that it's just, so demeaning to women because we have to prance around in a bikini and this and that. Well, first of all, there are some women that like that part of it. They're proud of the body that they work so hard to get, and then there's those other women that may not be as confident in that, in that division per se, but they love, like, I love the on-stage question. People like myself is very intimidated, like, oh my gosh, what if I mess up? What if I say more than my actual answer? Like, there's so many things that take place. I know that's going to be the new ongoing joke.
No, my first, well, I don't know, is my second, maybe my third national title, and they're doing the warm-up on stage question, and so the MC says, so how is everything backstage? And I very stoically stood next to her and I got very posture and I went, the answer to that is world peace.
Yes. Perfect answer.
And the look on her face was mortified. The judges started cracking up. the entire audience roared. And then, but I was so like in, you see that because I think that sometimes we get so stuck in that stereotypical idea of what it is. And to me, it was, I'm a goofball. Like I'm like, whatever. That's my personality. That's if I can make
Yeah,
somebody laugh or have a good time or help offset their anxiety, I try to be that. So, but to me, like that is one of my most memorable on stage moments because
I love it.
it was like truly, truly, truly like she just looked at me and went,
Yeah,
No,
that was
she didn't. No, she did not.
yeah, no, if you would have been at mine, so it was the first time, I think I was in high school and I was running for the Miss Moses Lake title. And it was one of those like last minute decisions. Somebody brought it up and I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I haven't done a pageant in a while, and because I had been off and on, throughout my
your whole life.
adolescence, yeah, my whole life. So I would take breaks in between and whatnot. And it was so funny because it was the first time I was actually having an on-stage question. And I think I was
Oh,
16, 17. And you would think at that age, oh, I can speak. I've done drama. I'm in choir. Like, I've done all these competitions with dance. Da, 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 da. Like, we're good. No. They asked me a question. The funny thing is that, with pageants, a lot of people don't realize, they're like, what is this platform that you're talking about? Well, you have to have
What
something
is
that
that?
you
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand. It was the first time that I actually really had to have a platform that you actually spoke about, because you're getting to that age where it is more important. I think that over the years, the pageant world tries to develop and, of course, get away from that stereotype of just the pretty face. So they're trying to implement a lot more to make sure that there's also a brain up there. No offense to anybody at all, but you do have to be a well-spoken, intelligent human
I
being because
agree.
you are representing your city, your state, your country, and that's a big role. And for me, it was like I had no clue. My mom says, "Oh, just do it on immigration. We struggle with that because immigrants and this and that." And I thought, okay, yeah, sure. And it was on the INS. I had no clue what I was talking about. I went trying to look up information, very limited resources back then.
No, there's no information.
There was no internet. I mean, you barely had the AOL, like, the dial up.
Beep, boop, beep.
I know, Maria Fernanda, you're very young, you probably don't know about that. But
Fernanda's going, what are you talking about?
yes, it is like the kids nowadays.
guys, you're making me look dumb. You're talking about no brain, and I'm over here
No,
like,
it's no. We're talking about something your entire life you have had internet. There was a
Yes.
time when in order to connect to the internet, you had to go through like three like
Oh,
oh
it
look,
was
no, it was just insane. Like and then there was no such thing as video chat. Just to watch a
no.
movie, it took like 30 minutes for things to load. See, now we get frustrated. It's like, oh my gosh, it's been 2 seconds. What's going on?
okay, that I know.
All just make,
The
like,
whole
cut
movie
off.
thing
You
I
do?
know. Yes, because my brother like would have to change his password on his laptop, well, his computer, because I kept getting viruses on it because I
Oh
wanted to watch
no.
movies, so I didn't know, and he was like, no, like these are fake, like
When the
this is
pop-ups would
illegal.
come up and just eat all of the, oh no, that's the
Yeah.
worst.
So
Oh my
he'd be
God.
like, I had to go get I had to go take my computer to get fixed because you're messing with it. And I'd be like, oh, I just want to watch like princess movies, like please. But
Hello,
it's
Princess
but
Diaries,
now
come on.
it's like really fast. You go on there, little babies with iPads, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm like not that old, but I definitely didn't have that for
Yeah,
sure.
so could you imagine myself, the first time I'm having to do this, and then I go on stage and they ask me a question about this platform that I literally know nothing. I
Oh my
just know
God.
that it's the immigration system. You get caught, they send you back. That was my answer when they asked, what is the INS? I froze and I said, well, and I just, have this little cute
No.
in my elegant dress and on stage with 350 people watching. And I said, well, the INS is if you're an immigrant and you get caught, they ship you back. And I just stayed like that.
Did
Oh
you
my
win?
God. Everybody, I got first runner up. They still place. It was hilarious. So like I had the judges laughing. Everybody in the crowd was like, I don't know if I should laugh, if I should be quiet. But it was that moment like that I just stopped and realized, this is so important to, like Maria Fernanda said, you have to be disciplined, and you really have to take, it's not that you're taking it lightly, but at the same time you have to like just be like, okay, what am I passionate about, and run with that, not just get something that you think is going to sound amazing or look great as a platform, and
Yeah.
now I'm living testament. My platform is living with PTSD because my husband is a soldier, a vet, disabled, and he has post-traumatic stress disorder. And I living with it on a daily basis, and I have a second degree form of it. So, it's amazing to know now that you're so passionate about something and you understand what you're talking about and you
Right.
understand the difference that it can make in somebody's life. Miss Vanessa started this thing where every Tuesday we go on and we speak to our followers, whether it's talking about your platform, whether it's just talking about what you're doing in your community. It has made such a difference and such an impact. I have people that reach out that I didn't even know who they were. I just knew they were a follower that have told me, I look forward to your videos on Tuesdays because now I know that there's other people going through what you're going through. And I'm like, I'm in tears going, I had no clue that I could be that impactful, and that's such a beautiful, that's the reward that I
The
would.
reward for doing it,
Of
right?
course.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
last week, so I have a heart condition. I this year started partnering with the American Heart Association, but not officially. I was just following Go Red, and they had a submit a video to be part of the Go Red for Women campaign. So there's 8 to 10 women every year that get to travel the country for the American Heart Association for Go Red. So I applied. I was a semifinalist. I didn't get in I was in the top 25. I didn't make the top 10, but then they turned around and said to me, well, you have heart failure. We would love for you to be an ambassador for heart failure because you have a really unique story. And I was like, I don't know a lot of the statistics about this, but okay, sure. And so when I started working with the person, I said, she's like, well, can you start, just a blog? And I'm like, I do videos. Can I just do a video and just start talking about my experience? So through this COVID experience, um, there has been a 40% drop in the amount of patients with heart attack or stroke going to the hospital. So last week, I get a message from the person from the American Heart Association saying, hey, we have a reporter that wants to talk to you. Do you mind? So the first one was the Wall Street Journal. And I'm like, sure. Okay. Oh no, do I know enough information to be able to get the statistics right? He ended up, I guess, weird. On March 18th, I was having stress issues. I have PTSD to some degree because of an incident that happened last year at Miss USA. My defibrillator went off at Miss USA interviewing Paula Shugart 2 minutes before preliminaries at Miss USA. So it's on video. You can see me on the stretcher going out of the theater. So, anyways, so I have PTSD because of it. So this COVID thing causes anxiety. I get rushed to the hospital from 911 because I have a cough from heart failure. They put me in the COVID area. So
Oh
here
no.
I'm a cancer survivor. I have a heart condition. I'm asthmatic, and they have now put me with all of the COVID patients because I have a cough.
Oh my gosh, how scary.
So I did this interview with the Wall Street Journal, and then they say, oh, there's somebody from the Boston Globe that wants to interview you. I'm like, okay, sure, you'll throw it to me. It's fine, good, whatever. I got an email from the vice president of the American Heart Association. So we really like what you're doing. NBC wants to interview you. Oh, sure. Okay, no problem. I call my pageant, my best friend is a previous pageant director. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? She's like, Stacy, you do this all the time. Are they really going to be able to trick you up? Are they going to ask you questions you can't answer? And I'm like, I don't know, like all the statistics. So last Wednesday, I was on NBC Nightly News. I was on CNN. I was on NPR last week. Like, I cannot even believe pageantry gave me this opportunity to do this crazy
Yeah.
opportunity. And it was about the story. It wasn't about what I could say a statistical value to. They have doctors that give you that information that handle those. But being able to put a person to that was so important. you
Yeah,
know,
humanizing it is so important.
they need that. You need stories that can be moved, and you as a title holder have those unique opportunities to bring your platform to life for whatever organization you're supporting or working with. So don't ever let your light not shine, because it's so important. We've been going. I know you, Yvette. You've got your kids. Fernanda, I know you're got studying to do. Do you guys want to finish this up, and then maybe we'll do another interview another time, because we've been on for a lot longer,
Yes,
because
don't
this was
worry
a
about it.
oops. Okay,
This
so
is so fun. I'm like,
are you having
I'm
fun?
just like having a
And I told you,
conversation.
this is, doesn't it go, it either goes really well or it goes really bad, but you see how fast it went?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
could have been either really awkward, like, hey guys, or in our case, like, no problems here. I don't really think anyone in the Valley has problems socializing and talking. We have a specialty to go on and on and on about any subject. So
Yeah.
you'll
We love
you'll never need content if you're
There you
talking
go.
to us. We can just create it out of the blue.
Dude, now I want to go to Texas. I miss it. So Miss Vanessa says the junior miss, preteen, little miss categories are 25% photogenic, interview, high fashion, and evening gown. And then Miss Vanessa says once things go back to normal or close to that day, or the day when you guys select a pageant day, we will have an at-large title for you to start representing ASAP to join our sister. Ooh, ooh.
I know, so exciting. I can't wait.
Anybody can do this. Like, you can do it, and there's many age divisions. I don't know, maybe I'll go to Texas. I'm already committed for the next year, but Vanessa, maybe 2000, holy, I don't even know what year it is. 2002, 2022.
it.
But, and I know, and maybe Rhonda will talk you into an older division. Well, we'd have to have an older division, because I'm 50, I'll be 55 then. Oh goodness. All right. And then she says she loves you. Miss Vanessa says she
Oh,
loves
we
you.
love you.
Love
We
you.
love you, Miss Vanessa. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I've been rambling for hours.
Yes. Yeah. Well, okay. What closing thoughts do you want to have? And then how can we find you, Fernanda?
Okay, well, my closing thoughts are, first of all, thank you for having us on this little show. I am so grateful. I had so much fun. I was a bit nervous just because I've never
Really?
done this. Well, not nervous because I'm like I said, I can ramble on for hours. Not nervous because I wouldn't have anything to say, but nervous because I've never really done this through like Skype and like live and like, I feel like a lot of things could have gone wrong. I told my family, like, stay on the other side of the house, please. Like, I don't want incidents. Like, please just let me have these. Like, I don't know how long it's going to take, but you guys don't even give me time to study. Just at least let me have this. So I was nervous, like, I don't know. I was like the dog, my parents. But
Was
anyway,
it as bad as you envisioned?
No. I honestly overthought it so much. Like, honestly.
So much.
This is so much easier than probably having any other sort of interview. This really feels authentic. Like, I really feel like I am having a conversation in person.
It's a conversation. I tell everybody, I'm not going to try to trick you up. I'm not going to ask you anything you don't know. I mean, I do usually ask, do you like frogs? Why or why not? And it's because of Pia, because I asked her that question. Do you like frogs? Why or why not?
Prague?
Frogs. Ribbit, ribbit.
Oh, do I like frogs? I don't like frogs because they're poisonous. Some of them are poisonous to dogs, and I will protect my dog over anything. So if it's a safety hazard for my dog, it's got to go.
I asked Pia Warsbach that question live on a red carpet, and her answer was so authentic, because we used to do it as a practice question for pageant interview. And so one of our viewers, we were doing a live, and so I'm live at Miss US or Miss Teen USA, and he said, does she like frogs? And so I asked her, and she went, no, I don't. And like told me a story like you did, no, if they hurt my dog, I don't want to. So from that moment on, we started asking everybody. So there you go.
It's a great icebreaker.
Just FYI, if I lose you, my laptop's about to die, so please forgive me.
No problem. So, Yvette, do you like frogs? Why or why not?
So I do. I've always been a super animal lover, reptile or not. The only thing I don't do is spiders. So I grew up. I mean, we have them in our backyard all the time. I love to hear them. And of course, I was raised with boys. I have boys, so it's really hard for me not to, have to be that mommy that picks up worms and all that stuff. So I do. As girly as I can be, I still like to just be a girl that has fun and get dirty.
All right. And do you just final thought really quick, like wrap it up, whatever you want to say in the last minutes before your computer dies?
I'm so sorry. So final thoughts again. Yes, just thank you so much for having us. This opportunity has been absolutely wonderful. Like Maria Fernanda said, like I was super way overthought it, thinking like, gosh, I don't know what it's going to be. And I know I watched some of your previous interviews, but I still was like, oh gosh, this could be nerve-wracking. But thank you for making it such an experience, a joyful experience. And all I can say is I look forward to more of your videos. You're just an amazing person. And I encourage all of you out there that if you have not ever tried a pageant, or maybe you got discouraged because you didn't win, just keep trying. I promise you it's worth it in the end. And even if you don't get that title, the sisterhood is the most important thing. And you can do so much out there, whether you're a title holder or not. Be a part of your community and do what makes you happy. And if it's being part of the pageant or just community service, do it. I promise you that there is no better reward than just giving of yourself. I love you all, and I pray that you all stay blessed.
Oh, that was
Amazing.
so good, Yvette.
Oh, I got goose pimples. Oh, goodness. That was amazing. You guys are awesome. You're fantastic. Vanessa, thank you for bringing this system to My Light, reaching out to me. We set this up before there was COVID. So, like, we've all rolled and changed just a little bit to adapt. So, thank you so much. And if you guys want, you can always go to what's the website for Continental Model? And if they want to stock,
MissContinentalModel.com, I
.com?
believe.
Okay. And then Fernanda, you have Miss Continental on your Instagram. It's Miss Continental Model, right?
No, my Instagram, it was
It's
for some
Fernanda
reason it was
Estrada
taken.
11, right?
Yes, at Fernanda Estrada 11. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Yvette, how
And
can they stalk you?
yes, mine is at Bessel's Glamour. I am a professional makeup artist, so I use my page there. And honestly, I had so many people that were on there. I didn't want to have to start over with my followers and family and friends, so I just kept it there. And feel free for any of you who want to reach out, any questions, or you just want to say hello. I love meeting new people and conversating. So I have no problem if you want to just reach out and say hi.
And Vanessa says, thank you so much for having our girls. Hugs and kisses. Besitos. Gracias por todo.
Thank you so much. I'm so
Amazing.
happy that we got to do this. I haven't seen Yvette in a long time, obviously, because of everything that's going on. So it was good to see you.
Horrible?
It was so good meeting you, Miss Stacy.
Thank you.
This is an incredible opportunity, and I do just want to say to everybody that's watching, remember that the most important thing that you can do, especially during these times of COVID, is to try to stay calm and really be kind to your mind. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a best friend. That's one of the best advice that I've ever gotten. Treat yourself or give yourself the same advice or give yourself the same comments that you would to a best friend. So be nice to yourself, really, because you're who you spend the most time with. So
It's
thank
true.
you so much.
And for anybody, just to let you guys all know, like for me, because of the stress, I contacted my insurance carrier and I said, hey, I'm having a hard time emotionally. This is causing me physical damage because my brain goes a million miles. Most insurance carriers, if you have insurance, now are offering free therapy sessions via telemed.
Wow.
So there you go, to help both of you, because people that are suffering from PTSD, this is a trigger for a lot of people. And since some people are not able to actually get out of their house, or they're living single, or they're elderly, or they might be struggling, check with your insurance carrier. So I have unlimited, they've stopped, like certainly some insurances have a limit to how many times you can see somebody. They're now doing free unlimited mental health. So
Wow.
take advantage of it.
That's really important.
Super, super important. Don't feel like you can't reach out to somebody and talk, because sometimes someone else will see your world a different way when you're talking about it and help you deal with what you're going through. And since both of your platforms are really about mental health. I think that that's an important point to make. So there you go.
Thank you so much for that information. I had no
Yes.
idea.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So thanks guys for being on. I appreciate it. And you guys can find all of you guys online. You can find us. We have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, Pageantry Now. I will try to have my husband make his magic happen and put the two interviews together.
Of the
Or you
30
can go to
minutes.
Imagination for the first 30 minutes and watch where my students were watching our original interview. My husband just went, I was wondering about why I didn't see you on.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I'm like, why didn't you come out of the bedroom and say something, dude? Anyway, Vanessa says, abrazos fuerte y mucho besos. So big hugs and lots of kisses. Thanks so much, guys, for
Yes.
being here.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
thanks,
much.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.